I would like to say that my thoughts are with those affected by the virus globally, locally, and the Filipino community in particular. Your safety and well-being is my main priority. As I closely monitor the evolving impact of the disease, I am adept and abreast of ongoing measures to ensure the health and safety of everybody, while also maintaining the highest level of service to all my patients and their families. As we navigate through these challenging times, I am reminded of how fortunate we are to be part of this group of Filipino doctors and missionaries that supports each other to accomplish incredible things. It is the power of this group that will propel us through this pandemic to better times. As the saying goes, life must go on. Brace yourself, as my speech is a little bit extensive, long, with monotonous thank yous, putting into perspective in some recollective, nostalgic events, reminiscent past 15 years I experienced with most of you and this remarkable group. Tonight's event also reinforces the fellowship and the bond among all of my circle of friends. Tonight's gathering would not be complete without a special mention to the PMA Jubilee Book Memoir 1979-2019, PMA 40 Years in Existence, History and Memories all captured in the book. The project was conceptualized and initiated at year-end term of Dr. Barbadillo's presidency that went through full blast and completed at end term of Dr. Mario Lumara's presidency. It's a 2-year arduous process in the making. In the end, a historic project was put to reality and finished on time despite the pandemic obstacles. It was, however, met with a long-delayed eventual release due to resurgence of the pandemic. But finally, the time has come, and as the saying goes, anything worth having is worth waiting for. Please allow me to mention the process of completing the book after PMA's collective input and approval. Working on the book through times of pandemic, isolation was cathartic and transcendent. From the start of January 2019, I began to gather all pertinent materials needed doing the memoir, digging all my files, putting all together the PMA's history to its founding fathers, all presidents, past to present, all memorable captured moments, good, bad, sad, happy moods, laughters, unforgettable get-togethers, social events, yearly picnic gatherings, annual Christmas parties, humanitarian medical outreach activities, monthly dinner meetings, emergency meetings, and most yearly the Educational Philippine Medical Association Symposium. I also compiled all issues of newspaper clippings where special activities of our association are permanently translated and documented in the book. I initially contacted Mr. Vince Marasigan early on January 2020 from Balmar Printing on how we want the book be conceptually translated. As we don't have a contracted professional publishing company to do most of the book layout and editing, we all did all by ourselves. The hardest part too is the gathering of individual bio-non-sensitive informations and photos to be included in the book from most of our doctors and associates, whether active, inactive, retired, or from deceased family member representatives. Although final layout and printout for some members may not be perfect as expected, my apologies to those concerned. From the mid-pandemic isolation year of 2020 to time of book completion, the book publishing staff met usually every Friday without fail for project brainstorming and collaging together all on-hand collected materials. We usually met in my office and later part of the year at the Balmar Printing office to supervise actual editing of every page of the book. My wholehearted appreciation goes to Dr. Malumara for your patience and devotion to the project, that's including Ruben's involvement. To Pina Velasco and Mariby Aguinaldo from PVIMM side, to our printout layout artist Arnel, who were always in attendance in every meetings. Your job contributions were invaluable and highly appreciated. Inputs and insight from Dr. Tess Barbadillo and from a medical staff side, Christy Aquino and Monet Cruz were commended. My special thanks to all PMA members and associates for their innovative suggestions and inputs from the planning stages and their desirous diligence to give up their best pictures and summarize bios. As much as I do and the rest of getting the book done on time, me and Dr. Mara often continue and carry on the unfinished job into our homes to put everything in perspective. I would have quit long time ago during the book-making process, but with the group's insurmountable desire to go all the way to make it done, it made me even more determined to race further until the finish line. Desirous to give out and share to everybody what we've accomplished, December 4, 2020 was the first intended book release, hoping that the pandemic would ease by then, but to no avail, hence moving down the time every desirable safe months until appropriate. I would like to mention though that significant numbers of volumes have already been distributed in advance to some members who were unable to attend tonight's event for some reasons. Hence tonight is an appropriate event for book sharing rather than a book launching. At this time, I would like to mention our association's major humanitarian medical accomplishment. This is our yearly medical mission in the Philippines and other select international mission sites. From Dr. Yurobi's term to Dr. Manaib's tenure, passing all the responsibilities to me, I consider it a tremendous responsibility. And for the past 12, as President and Medical Director of the Paradise Valley International Medical Mission, and with the coordinative efforts from the Philippine Medical Association, I made it possible to carry on this yearly Philippine Medical Mission without fail, hoping to make an impact of extending help to our kababayans from the indigent areas of Luzon to far remote areas of Visayas. During all those years, from time of inception to the present, I can proudly say that we have served at least 1 million. I repeat, we have served at least 1 million of our Filipino indigents needing medical, surgical, and dental needs. And for me, that's a milestone of accomplishment. A big appreciation and thanks to all of you, Filipino medical team, to all the medical doctors, the surgeons, the dentists, the nurses, and all the volunteers. You gave all your best, 1 million thanks. And of course, the Paradise Valley International Medical Mission Group, who are present here tonight. If not through your generous and willingness to help our association, this medical mission could not have been made possible.